Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. You know this guy here for sure in the red. He is Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry. Next to him is Brent Laffey. They are the owners of Carbon Culture USA Gym in Franklin, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. I was down there, guys. You had your grand opening January 31st through February 1st. I was down there with Hector. Spectacular gym, amazing arsenal strength equipment. Love the vibe down there. But the big news is, while a lot of gyms around the world, especially in the USA, still not accessible, Tennessee, you guys are back in business. So when did that happen?
May 1st was when they opened up phase one. So last Friday was our opening day.
Wow. Okay. So how long had you guys been shut down for? Because February 1st was the opening. So when were you forced to close by the state?
Yeah, March 20th. So the
Okay.
gym opened obviously end of January. We got about 50 days in, shut down for about 40 some days, and now we're back up.
So, what was going on during those 40 days? I'm just curious. You're just trying to figure out when you could open up again?
Yeah, I mean, at first it seemed like day by day as everyone was kind of waiting for news. And then pretty much the way Tennessee ran is I think they did it pretty good. They communicated really well. And they said stay-at-home shelter is till, I think it was April 30th at first, right? And as that became closer, they started announcing the phases. And we got notified like probably 4 or 5 days before the end of the home and shelter that we could open back up May 1st. And they gave really specific guidelines to follow from the CDC. So, I mean, the way Tennessee is handled, I think Brandon feels the same. They did as good as they could in this, situation.
Yeah, unusual situation.
So I'm curious because eventually my gym's going to open up again someday. What are the guidelines that your state enforced said this is what has to happen at your gym from now on or for the duration?
Yeah, there's different phases, and it looks like every 14 days they'll open up the next phase based on numbers going the right way. But for phase one, which we're in now, the real restrictions are half your capacity. So today, actually, this is the first time we basically we're one person away from our capacity. So we had to be ready to shut the door and say, one in, one out. But luckily, that hasn't been a case so far. 6 feet apart, really trying to make sure the equipment's, based like that. So we've had to move some cardio out, adjust some equipment. A lot of it's personal accountability, right? You're in a gym, you just got to be smart. So we put a little bit of onus on the members, but we've put stuff to where it's the right distance apart and hope they abide. Sanitation before you come in. There's a screening as well. When I say screening, I mean there's a written screening that you have to answer to make sure you haven't had a fever in 48 hours, you haven't been in contact with somebody, all the typical things to make sure we're at least mitigating the risk. Full sanitation. We are only open during staffed hours. We're a 24-hour gym normally. We now only do it staffed, so we have staffing, cleaning every hour, and then we also have a third-party company that comes in at night and does the full sanitation as well too. On top of that, that's really the main guidelines right now that I can think of. But and for classes, we're holding a class tomorrow. It's all based on square footage, so 6 feet apart and things like that.
Okay, yeah, because when I was there, you hadn't opened up. There was still that CrossFit place next door that you guys were buying and turning into the aerobics or whatever studio.
Exactly, so and that's in the middle of happening, and we're actually merging tomorrow to do our first class. And those will be 2 separated suites too. So again, like you're only going to be in one or out the other.
What about masks? Do you guys have to wear a mask?
Well, I know not here in this city right now. They don't have any specifics for masks, but I know in Knoxville, which is north of here, they have to wear masks in the gym. And then I've also seen some gyms where you don't have to wear a mask when you're doing cardio, but apparently you have to wear a mask when you're lifting. So it just depends on the city you're in, but they are making some restrictions with masks in some gyms.
And we have them available here. We weren't obviously told we have to do it. So they're here available if someone needs it. Also, when we're doing personal training, we ask the members how they prefer it, right? Do they want the trainer to have a mask or not? And kind of let them make the decision since we're not held to those standards.
Yeah, because a personal trainer, you can't stay 6 feet away from your client. That's actually putting them in danger in a lot of cases. You can't spot them.
It's a different situation. Definitely, it's right now we call it moral spotting, not physical spotting. So you're not really
You can do it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So no one's really going for PRs right now by any means, but you know, up to their decision.
So let me turn to the current reigning Mr. Olympia, Brandon. You know, Mr. Olympia needs to train. Obviously, that's your job, is to be the greatest bodybuilder on earth. So what's your training been like? Have you been in this place all by yourself for a couple months now?
Yeah, you know, it was a little lonely around here for a little bit. You know, just coming in and just trying to get it done. You know, having these.
So I'm going to turn now to Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. As the greatest bodybuilder on earth, you need to train. You have a gym, but it's been pretty empty and quiet. What's it been like training in a very quiet, empty gym for over a month now? About 6 weeks, I guess.
Well, it's been quite unusual. It's not definitely not the norm in this place. But at the end of the day, being a bodybuilder, you got to get it done. I was just hoping that I didn't get too used to training by myself, because when we opened again, then it'd be quite annoying. But
actually, he's yelling at members when they're grabbing dumbbells. Hey, put that down. That's mine.
That's mine. That's mine. But it's been a welcome to have everybody coming in and everybody training and feeling the energy in the gym again. It's been a very, very, very welcoming experience, and I'm fortunate that we have the opportunity to be available to open for all our members. So it's just the energy in here and the excitement. Everybody's excited to be back in the gym. Yeah. It's just a great feeling overall.
Yeah, so, the vibe, Ron, has been unreal. It was like a family reunion in some sense when people were coming back in, and it was just great. It was inspiring for, I think, us who have been here and seeing it, you know, an empty gym, and then the excitement people have. It's honestly, it's priceless. You don't realize how much people really, that's their thing every day that makes them go to their happy place, and you saw it on people's face, and still seeing it.
Yeah, and another thing is you didn't know who would be scared. You know, we didn't know if people would be scared to come to the gym or not. And just seeing the people actually coming out and they want to train, it's very, 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 you know, heartwarming actually, and a relief that people are just not scared to come out of their houses. So.
Well, I mean, you know, you have a wide range of people there, all the way from competitors to, you know, regular people that just want to be fit and in shape. But all these people, they join the gym because they love the gym and they love training. So I can imagine when they were able to finally get back. Like, I know when I get back in my gym, I'm going to be like on fire. Were these people like super hyped up when they walked in the first day?
100%. There's a funny story that happened last night. This kid just drove here, and he's going to stay. I forget what part of Tennessee he's from, but he wanted to train here, and he hasn't trained in like a month. He came in at like 5 p.m. and we closed at 8 p.m. He has like a duffel bag of food. He said he's going to get 3 workouts in and 2 meals in these 3 hours, and he's not leaving. It's just stuff like that. You're like, you know, people have been missing the gym.
Did he do it?
He was here till we had to kick him out. Yes.
So, you know, I'm also curious. This isn't related to quarantine at all, but just the fact, you know, Brandon, I was there when you opened the gym, but you hadn't really had a chance to train with the members and amongst the members and stuff. You know, I would think as Mr. Olympia, they'd be coming up to you nonstop, but obviously you need to get your training in, and you know, this is your job. You can't stop every 2 minutes to chat and take pictures with everybody that wants to. How do you balance being a good gym owner and a good representative and ambassador with needing to get what you need to get done in the gym when it's your gym?
It's not that hard, actually. It's not really that hard. You know, if I'm busy at the moment, I say, just give me a moment. I'll be with you just in a minute. Let me finish this set. Let me finish this, and I just run over, take a picture real quick, and then go back to work. So it's no sweat off my back, man. I'm just happy they're here, and I know if they came here to get a picture, you know, that's a privilege for me. That's an opportunity for them. So I don't want to be an ass, you know, when they come in here and they don't want to see me. So, but fortunately for me, it's not been in my way at all.
He's a great ambassador. I mean, he lives at the same time. We've been open only 5 days. In Mysteric, you know, out of nowhere today, our busiest time was at 12 noon.
Yes.
Really?
People are kind of catching on to where Brandon's coming, but that's great. But it's also great as he handles it the way he does. The members get a good experience, but they're also they are pretty respectful.
Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
like, I haven't seen anybody kind of running in and grabbing him in the sets. So it's a cool vibe, but they in 5 days have figured out when Brandon's training at. So
Now, how did they figure that? Have you been posting it like certain times on Instagram?
No.
It's just spread word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Brandon's training now. Let's
Exactly.
meet me here tomorrow at noon. Yeah, I could see how that would work. Yeah, and it's probably cool because these, because these are members and they see you every day. Not that they're still not going to be a little starstruck and everything, but they understand who you are and what you need to get done. And I think they would tend to be a little more aware that he's training for to defend the Mr. Olympia title. Maybe I'll wait till he's done working out and then I'll try to talk to him. So I also want to talk about the second location, which it's Murfreesboro. It's going to be
Correct.
your hometown. So you're opening up a much bigger 2-story location on August 8th in Murfreesboro. Has construction, everything been going as scheduled throughout this whole quarantine and pandemic?
It's been actually pretty cool. I think it was last week where everything got started and got the equipment list all set and done, and that's been great. So it's just a matter of just putting it all together, and hopefully he's going to push the contractor.
If he's watching this, he's got a July 1st date.
Oh wow, okay. I mean,
get it done as soon as possible. But we're excited about that one, man. That's a little baby of mine, that seems, and it's gonna have my signature on it. So a lot of the pieces that I like, I think are good. All the quality things that I like about a gym are going to be in this gym. So you're going to get a real experience, from my point of view of what I think a gym should be.
Yeah. Did you go ahead, Brent? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you being a equipment guy and lifting guy. I mean, it's going to be your heaven. Brandon did a great job, and you don't want to put us say a Mecca, but for Tennessee, this will be the place to go if you want good equipment.
Yeah, because I already saw. I've been waiting. That was the first time I saw the Arsenal Strength line, which I've been seeing in pictures and videos for years now, a couple of years anyway. Very, very impressed by that line. Are you guys featuring other lines at the second location?
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll have off the top of my head, Atlantis, Hoist,
Okay.
Roger Pendulum, Prime, Eleco, Cybex. I mean, we'll have a little plethora of some of the pieces that I've traveled around and experienced myself, from Oxygen to some of the nice gyms in Hungary, that are I guess furnished through Ms. Mantis, which is a equipment company that's really good at distribution. So we'll have I've got a lot of good advice as well, and I've got a lot of my own personal experience on the quality of the brands and different pieces that people like, and different things that the bodybuilders in the community are liking, especially some of the modern pieces.
Yeah.
And we're just going to try to get just a collection of these things, so we can just get some of the best workouts possible, some of the best quality pieces of equipment in the gym possible. So it'll be it's definitely what we say a hardcore training experience, but very, very nice, very, very quality, some place that you can you may want to eat off the floor if you're there.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we told you when you came here, Ron, the goal is kind of a modern day bodybuilder's gym, which we think is a hybrid. I listened to your video with Ed Connors even, and I think you made some great points of where the gyms are going. And some of it really is the direction we've gone. It doesn't need to be a huge footprint. Therefore, you can put the money into the equipment, reinvesting into the company versus paying for just a huge place, which a lot of these gyms do. We want the equipment to be number one. We want it to be like a 5-star hotel when you go in the bathroom. So hardcore by equipment, clean from a amenity standpoint, and build a culture.
I'm going to throw Metroflex under the bus here, but it's in a joking way. Branch Warren, when I talked to him a couple weeks ago, he said, I survived 20 years at Metroflex. I'm not worried about the coronavirus. So,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate, especially as I'm a little older now, appreciate cleanliness and hygiene and not having to worry about, God, what is that sticky stuff over there, and what's that sticking out of the roller? Yeah, I mean, so
once in a while they're good to visit, here and there to get that experience. But I think day in, day out, people now value the cleanliness. But I mean, for us too, the other thing that we're going to try to do in these two gyms, any gyms that we open up, is make sure we build the right atmosphere. Which meaning, if this is the lifting area, this is the lifting area. There's not going to be classes going in the middle of it. There's not going to be yoga. this is the zone, right? So in the Murfreesboro, downstairs is zoned like the lifting area, right? Upstairs we'll have more cardio, we'll have some classes, but really to try not to be a gym where we throw everything together. We want it to have that unique feeling to it. So it'll have its hardcore feeling, just a little different than old school.
I'm curious. When I was there, we shot a lot of footage of that. There was a pendulum squat challenge.
Yes.
And I think it was 2 plates. It was for men had to do 2 plates aside. And I believe that it was a couple that won. It was a boyfriend and girlfriend that won. I don't know how many reps he got, but has anyone since tried to beat that guy's record, and did they do it?
Yeah. Well, no. We thought we could. So we were in the middle of a workout, and I failed miserably at it. So I don't
machine.
know. Yeah, and sadly though, it wasn't 2 plates aside. It was that machine's so heavy. It actually was a plate aside.
That is the heaviest freaking leg machine I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Ever. Like,
yeah, we have a T-bar row too that literally you T-bar row with 45s usually, and everyone goes over there and makes the same mistake. This piece from Arsenal is just heavy, and I post some videos, and every time I get so much hate. I'm like, you're only doing 25s.
It's like, yeah, come try the 25.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I tried several of those pieces, and I watched what Brandon, you trained a couple body parts while I was there, Meadows, Kuklo, and you're all very, very strong guys. So just seeing the plates that you guys were using, in my head, I said, well, if they're using 3 plates, average lifter would probably be doing a plate and a half, if that. But man, very, very well designed. Arsenal's not paying me, guys. I'm not an employee, but man, I wish my gym had a few of those pieces.
Maybe you should be. Maybe if you don't get out of home and shelter, maybe they can plug you for a home gym soon.
Dude, I'd have to convert my whole house to a gym. There's not a lot of room. But so Brendan, I think everyone's been. I don't know if you've addressed this in any other interviews or social media, but typically you spend. I don't know when you typically head to Kuwait. If the Olympia is usually in September, and I believe we're going to post this probably Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday at the latest, but probably Monday. I think we're going to know when the Olympia is. Because right now, I don't think it's going to be September. I think everything, because the whole world has been on hold for months, the date's going to get moved up. Typically, do you have a certain amount of weeks that you like to be in Kuwait leading up to the Olympia?
Well, I would have been in Kuwait like right after the Arnold, and I would have been back at this point for the guest posing in Pittsburgh. Was it May? I would have been back for that. And I would have guest posed there, and I would have been in the U.S. for a little bit, and then I would have headed back for the final stages of preparation for that final cutting phase. So I would have been gone and back already at this point. So, but with everything kind of set back and this uncertainty, I was able to kind of pace myself a little bit better. Not really on the gas, really, really hard, because I don't have I knew it was pretty likely that the date was going to change, even though I know they didn't want to. But just because of circumstances we can't control, so I was able to kind of pace myself going into this into the preparation, and I'm fortunate enough I was able to do that and not get too ahead of myself going into this preparation for the Olympia. So with I think I have an idea of when the show will be, so I think I have plenty of a good time to prepare, and I'm in a good spot right now, very comfortable spot.
But you'll probably just only go to Kuwait once. You're not going to do the 2 different trips.
Exactly. It's either a matter of going to Kuwait once, or we're going to bring my coach out here.
Wow. Okay. Imagine Abdullah setting up shop right there at Carbon Culture.
Yeah.
I think he'd love Murfreesboro.
Yeah, man. He love it, man. Little playground there. And we get it done. Either way, we're going to get it done.
Because we know you have to be in Tennessee at least until August 8th. Because that's your gym opens up.
Right.
So if the Olympia happens I'm guessing it's going to be November or December. That's my best guess, because everything so far has been pushed to November, December. So I would imagine you open up your new location, get that squared away, and get that where it needs to be. And then I guess you just head off, either that or, maybe Abdullah. But I mean, would he be able to just stay there with you? Does he not have a lot of other guys that he needs to be watching?
I'm pretty sure I'm number one on his priority list.
I know you are. What about numbers 2 through 100? They're going to be all butthurt.
Well, yeah. They have to work with him online,
Okay.
like you do now.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens. So Brent, what do you see as the future of this particular gym as far as the social distancing and stuff? We don't know what's going to happen. I'm not asking you to predict the future, but for the next couple months, as things sort of hopefully return back to normal, are things going to be status quo? Do you think things will be back to the same way it was before the pandemic hit?
Yeah, I think you can't really predict. I can tell you what I see in Tennessee. I'm obviously not in other states.
Yeah.
I've been pleasantly surprised by the reaction, the way the states open back up. And, you don't know who's not coming out, but I think there's an 80-20 rule or something like that, where 80% of the people are living life and coming out. And we see it in the gym. Our numbers are actually up,
Yeah. Wow.
which is great. The atmosphere is the best it's ever been. I think, it's one of those things where you don't know how much you appreciate it until it's gone. I like a lot of things. And we're seeing that so much in the gym, and people are referring people, and the vibe is good. So my prediction here is we'll go through the phases, and I think by the time we open up Murfreesboro, I think it would be back to more normal practices in Tennessee. Obviously, being smart about some things. I think some things are never going to go back to normal, right? There's going to be sanitation. There's going to be more cleaning, and that's fine. This fits the gym. We always, when we started this before, wanted this to be like a 5-star hotel in some sense for what a gym can. So it really fits our model in a lot of ways. And we're going to cap memberships at both places just because we don't want to ruin the atmosphere, right? We don't want to flood the place and it be too busy and you have a bad experience. Now, we're not the cheapest. We're not a Planet Fitness or a $10 membership. Yeah. But I think those people who know we're going to cap the membership and it's nice and it's clean will pay for that. And I think that's how you survive as a gym these days. It's not going to be volume driven as much because you can't have the people. There's a lot of people who'll be scared if you're driving that volume. So, I mean, knock on wood, I think we're in a nice spot with the direction of the gym, the strategy. Now we just have to execute and hold up to what we said we're going to do.
I also think with Ed Connors, what he was saying, the low price point gyms, they're going to start to disappear in the future, as well as the Walmart offer you everything gym facilities. And they're going to have a hard time coming back because they offer so many services that it's kind of that high overhead is going to be hard to keep up with if you don't have the members that can be in the facility.
Yeah, it's crazy. Is like we made the decision when we opened this is we wanted to invest in equipment. I think any person who truly loves gym, that's the most important thing. And you can condense into a smaller space. Once you buy the equipment outside of new things you're buying, that investment's done. Your rent never goes away. So for us, it was always key. We want to be in, 8 to 10,000 square foot areas, just so we can control that. We don't have to do any kind of crazy volume purchase to get people in the door. So there's little things we've done as we've built out the strategy that are different than you had seen previously, right? Yeah. And now I wouldn't say the pandemic's. I think it's fast tracking trends. So I think this was coming, but I think now you're going to see it accelerate, right? And like a lot of businesses, things are going more online. It's just fast tracking. So we hope that we've done it right, and we hope people want to come in the gym still, and they feel comfortable when they get here.
So you have second location opening up in Tennessee. Can you say anything about any other states in the United States that might be getting a Carbon Culture USA in the near future?
Yeah, we're very. Before the pandemic, we were fast tracking in Texas. So when something happened like this, obviously we wanted to put the, pause button and see what happens. We're beginning that conversation, and I would hope that by the end of the year, we have a location in Texas as well. Right. And Brandon and I have talked, and we're not going to franchise this thing. I mean, never say never. I would hate this to come back and this be the video 10 years from now.
Said.
Yeah, exactly. But if I'm relevant in 10 years on this, and I guess it'd be okay. But regardless, we want to have investment. We want to have ownership with partners. And we probably won't go from 2 gyms to 100 gyms because we're not going to franchise. So it's strategic partners, strategic locations that we'll get involved in. And there's a couple other on the horizon that aren't as far as Texas, but we definitely have a few more that we could partner with in the near future.
Okay. Question for both of you guys. Start with you, Brandon. Certain businesses were deemed essential, others non-essential. And then when we started learning more about who was being impacted the most by the virus and people that were the people that were really getting hit hard, and mostly the ones who were dying, were severely overweight people, people with heart disease, diabetes, heavy smokers, asthma, basically unhealthy people, people with poor health. And a gym is one of the only places you can actually go and boost your health and become healthier.
Yep.
So did it seem ironic to you that places like Burger King, McDonald's, and liquor stores were open throughout this whole thing, but you guys had to shutter your doors for weeks and weeks?
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, ironic in the sense of logic, but we know sometimes government decisions and stuff is not always based on logic. Mm-hmm. And, some of the reasons is just rash reactions to a certain situation and then kind of figure it out in the process. Yeah. So we were just hoping this process would allow them to figure out what is really essential. We know, some of these big corporate businesses, of course, they have their advantages. And, of course, some of the business is going to get bailouts during this time as well. Yeah. But, for this, smaller businesses, kind of put in a certain position, questioning whether we're going to survive or not. So being that we were, Tennessee or Governor Lee here, decided that the gym businesses were something that we needed to work on getting open. Yeah. We're very fortunate that, we have that kind of thinking in this position that we're in right now. Not fortunate for a lot of other areas, but hopefully, we can be an example, and it can catch on in other places around the U.S. that gyms can be open and be okay. The healthier community can be safe around each other. Healthy people can be safe around each other. You shouldn't be afraid of healthy people, But people that are more vulnerable, of course, they can do the precautions that they need to keep themselves safe. But I don't think it's worth isolating the whole entire planet of healthy people for the sake of people getting sick.
Yep. And it's, good question you asked about essential, not essential. Like, gyms were closed. I think this whole realize the domino effects when certain businesses are closed. So my other business, which is nutrition manufacturing, a lot of the brands are getting crushed because the gyms are closed, right? Yeah. So people aren't supplementing. Are you taking a pre-workout to go do a band workout at your house? Some might.
I'm sure some people are.
Right, but it definitely, we've seen it affect their business significantly, right? But they also are brands who then do multivitamins and do other vitamins. Their business is getting really affected. So the gyms actually they're such an outlet in what it does. So yeah, it's been kind of sad to see some of the brands get hurt because of the gyms being closed, right? And some of them are not going to be able to come out of it.
Yeah. I believe, I don't think too many states, I want to say there's only maybe, aside from the few states that never shut down because nobody friggin' lives there in the first place. No offense to Dakota, Nebraska, all those places. But, we're all kind of watching Tennessee and Florida, Georgia, the gyms and places like that to see. You're kind of like the guinea pigs. We're waiting to see how this all works. Is everyone going to be okay? Because everyone's the dire predictions were, I'll tell you, as soon as everything opens up again, it's going to be like this massive second wave that's going to be worse than the first wave, and this and that. Doom and gloom has been. I hate I don't even want to look at Facebook or the news anymore. But it's just it's all doom and gloom and naysayers. But so far you've been open a week. I know that's not a long time, but it seems to me like everything's going swimmingly over there.
Yeah, we feel good. We feel lucky. We got to obviously be careful. But like Tennessee, for example, opened up, some parts opened up before even May 1st. So they're running the numbers every 5 days. And the amount of cases since the opening is really still to the same level they were before. So, which is a good thing to see. They're not having skyrocketed. Plus, even now in Tennessee in the last 2 weeks, the amount of testing has really gone up. So you would think just with that alone, the numbers would skyrocket. So I think right now, knock on wood, it's under control. But, the media will grab anything and turn the numbers any which way they can to show something. So but Tennessee, honestly, I think they've done a great job. I'm not from Tennessee, but I think they have definitely been cautious in some areas. They've planned it out. They've communicated well. But they also realize, too, is there's so many small businesses that need to keep going, right? So I really commend what Tennessee's done.
Well, I'm very glad to see that you guys are back in business. It's heartening. It's I want to see all the gyms open again, but even just seeing a couple gyms that I know, and I know the people there, it's a boost. It's a boost of morale because it gives us hope. Well, maybe we'll get out of this in our little state soon too. You know,
Yeah.
we're all hoping and praying wherever we are, that are still quarantined, that we can get out of this soon, like you guys. And you know, definitely by August 8th, I for sure want to be back down there for the big brand new
Yeah.
second location, Carbon Culture USA. Are you gonna call? Is it gonna have like a signature name like Brandon Curry's Carbon Culture USA? Or
The house Brandon designed.
yeah, I mean,
there will be a nice. This guy's too modest. I have to like pull stuff from him. There will be a nice picture and a big mural of him, but like it's like pulling teeth. He would not. Nothing to do with him.
parking spot, Mr. Olympia
He wouldn't
parking
even
orderly.
do that, man.
No.
Like, no, it's that's what's great about Brandon. But truly, like, I'm talking design this gym. Like, I had conversations, him and one other guy we talked to, and I was kind of the third person, almost the third wheel. They're talking about equipment to the level I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go work on something else type and listen to these guys go into the detail of every piece of equipment. So truly, I mean, you can say he designed this gym. That's a true statement.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, Brandon, you've been at Oxygen Gym for a couple of years, and that's, you know, I've never been there. I'll like see his pictures and videos, but man, that place looks like Disney World for equipment.
I tell you this. You talk about it as if it's one place, but he has multiple gyms in Kuwait.
I do. I just say Oxygen Gym. What there's like 10 of them, right?
Well, there's like 6 in Kuwait. He's got one in Abu Dhabi. He just opened up in Dubai, right outside of Dubai, and then I think Saudi Arabia. They're planning for 2 there. So I haven't spoken to him about his project recently, but I know he just redesigned Jabria as well, which is the one I trained at.
Yeah.
He actually they added a new floor to the building. So
They added another floor.
Yeah.
So, you know, the people of Murfreesboro are going to get the benefit of having a gym that has a lot of the best aspects of the most famous gym in the world right now, Oxygen Gym Jabria in Kuwait. So some very lucky people in Murfreesboro, guys. August 8th, that's where you want to join up. If I was
any more equipment, though, we will have to build another floor.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard part. You know. And I have to thank Batter. Shout out to Batter for giving me a blind test, because before he puts any equipment on the gym floor in Oxygen, he takes the labels off of them. So you have to learn the equipment blind. You know, like how you have to learn it by, you know, just little odds and ends of how it works mechanically, and then you start to figure out what different brands do. You know, what they do similar to each other and what they do differently from each other.
Can I know it's off topic, but why do they do that? Why do they take the labels off?
Well, I think it's a matter of, imitation is flattery, but, he didn't really want a lot of imitation. People watching videos and just saying, what's this, what's that, what's that? So, it's about his gym. It's not about the brands. It's about his gym. And so he does it that way. People
like you and me could go, that's the hammer strength ISO pull down, the version that came out in 2005. I know that one.
Right.
You can't fool me. That's not the knockoff. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on getting the gym open again. It's very encouraging to the rest of us to see that happening, because a lot of us in the U.S. and around the world are still waiting for that chance. I'm hearing from people in Europe where their countries aren't going to open gyms till September. So, man, I feel for those people. But in the meantime, guys, keep doing a great job over there. It's an excellent facility. I missed it the day I left. I missed it as soon as I was at that damn airport. Like, man. Because I only got to train one body part there. I was like, I wish I could have trained back. I wish I could have trained this.
2 or 3 days in August, I think you need.
I might have to. Or I'll be like that guy. I'll bring meals. I'll just train all damn day. I'll do every damn body part. At this point, I'm ready. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody, the website is carboncultureusa.com.
Carbonculture-usa.com. And then on Instagram, it's carboncultureusa. And most of our updates are actually on IG.
Yeah, so Instagram, Carbon Culture USA, guys. You can follow what's going on at this great facility in Franklin, Tennessee. I had the pleasure of visiting. And if you guys are ever anywhere in the Nashville area, or I guess Murfreesboro area, if you're going to be there after August 8th, you got to hit these gyms up. If you're a serious bodybuilder and you want to experience some of the greatest equipment, man, you're going to leave. You're going to go home with FOMO, but still, it's going to be fun while you're there. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Best of luck with the Franklin, and of course with everything going on toward location 2 in Murfreesboro. Brandon, good. Best of luck with the training. As you know, we're going to know probably by the time this video comes out, we're going to know what day you'll be defending your title. You know, that's going to be some big news, the Olympia, of course, but that's a story for another day, guys. Right now, it's all about Carbon Culture USA. So that's it. Thank you, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ron.